Welcome to the Nature Photo Guys podcast,
where we talk about nature photography, from gear to our philosophies and everything in between.
So grab a cup of coffee, sit back and relax.
You're listening to Joe Desjardins
and Chris Gibbs, the Nature Photo Guys.
Hey guys, welcome to the Nature Photo Guys podcast. In this episode here, we're going to do a bit of a recap from spring. We went out for bears, well, and other wildlife too. So it's just kind of, I guess, a continuation of our last episode where we talked about bear safety. And you guys will know, how safe we were. Or actually some of the interactions we had, which were really cool.
Oh, yes.
I mean, especially in the campground. So, we'll be talking about that. But before we get into that, what you been up to, Chris?
Well, spring's been good. I mean, there's been a lot going on. Finally, we've been able to get out and shoot, right? So it was nice. We did like you said, we did the bear episode. We got a lot of feedback on that one. So it was pretty timely for everybody, hey, with the spring bear season, which is kind of what we had thought, why we wanted to get the episode out there. And
exactly.
Everybody get thinking safe for everybody. But I've been pretty busy in my business side of things, and then we just ramped right into spring with a bunch of stuff, and yourself too, I guess, eh?
Yeah, I mean, the May started with my Waterton workshop, which was awesome. Mm-hmm. Big rams, bears. I think it was maybe the second or third time ever in Waterton we didn't have wind. So we got some pretty cool reflections and that sort of thing. So great group of people. Okay. And then we, I guess we segue right into the Light Chasers Conference in Pincher
absolutely.
Creek. The weekend after, which was pretty awesome. Another lineup of great speakers. Got to see some old faces, make new friends. The vendors were awesome. Shane just put on an amazing conference. I think you got the list there, Chris, right? Can you just read off?
I do, yeah.
Who the keynote was, and then who the other speakers were? You
bet. I mean, it was pretty cool. A great guy. We got to chat with him. Alistair Ben was the keynote for this Light Chasers, and what a great guy. I mean, his presentation was amazing, and I'll never forget it. It was awesome. It was pretty amazing. So. And who are the other names? Well, the conference kicked off with Anna Morgan. So she was there. She talked about play and possibility. And then actually I was part of the Case Pro Filters team, myself, Jim Brompton, and Brett Michaud. We talked about filters, and I actually introduced the new Case Movie Mate Mapbox, the new filter system that Case has brought out for the video side. So that was pretty cool, and had a lot of video conversations after that.
Oh, I probably left.
Hey,
I didn't
you were
really
there.
I
saw you.
It was good, actually, Chris, for your first presentation for photography video. Yep. I mean, you didn't miss a beat. So, I mean, it was awesome. Yeah, you did awesome. I know the guys in the front row were trying to give you a hard time. I think that might have been, let me see if I can remember, Duncan.
Duncan,
the other guy was, Nick.
Yes,
and then the other one was, Norm. So anyways, if you guys are watching, Chris really appreciated you not posting the I guess I should say it, the beaver sign.
Go ahead. Yeah, there you go.
The reason for the beaver sign was because in Chris's presentation, he had some really cool video of a beaver coming in off the water and stretching up, and it was phenomenal. So I think people can get a sneak peek of these presentations.
I think you have to have gone to Light Chasers. Whoever's attended Light Chasers will have access to them in the future here.
Okay.
But in the future, attend a Light Chasers event, and then you'll have access to these presentations as well. And I do like to say, I appreciate all your support, Joe, on that one too, and Shane for allowing me to speak, and Jim Brompton for inviting me to speak on behalf of Case as well, and Brett. It was a good event, and we give Nick and Duncan and Norm a hard time, but actually appreciated them a lot. Being in the front row was nice.
Yeah.
And, it was nice to see them there, and some
you betcha.
familiar faces right there. So it was pretty cool. So I enjoyed it a lot. So
and Jim did an awesome presentation. So did Brett. So it was a well-rounded 1-hour presentation on Case, the Case filter system, and the Case video,
all the options. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. So I guess that was Friday, and Alistair kicked it off, for the keynote at the end there of the day. And then the next day started off with Kyle Marquardt. He talked about bird photography. He's the Sony ambassador on that one. So that was kind of cool. Victoria Hack, she spoke as well.
Second time. Yeah. And she came back for a second time, which was pretty awesome. Yeah.
She's always an awesome speaker. So I really enjoyed that too. And I mean, everybody was great, but
for sure.
And then Alan Dyer, Chasing the Moon's Shadow. That was pretty cool.
The enthusiasm he brought, and you could hear it in his videos too, and the eclipse was happening and everything else. I mean, he had the place just howling. It was so awesome to see that. Like the excitement even now, after he's been doing it for so long.
What a wealth of knowledge that guy, hey?
For sure. And he's got books and all kinds of stuff. So it was pretty awesome to watch.
Yeah. And then that day finished off with Hope Walls and Billy Lang, The Anatomy of Success. So they did a big presentation from the Rare Earth Outreach Society. And Sunday, and in amongst these presentations, there was breakout sessions as well, and we can talk about that in a second. But Sunday started with Dara Oho. He is an unbelievable young macro photographer based out of Edmonton. He's spent a year in China, and his photography was amazing especially for not doing it very long. His macro was like second to none. It was unbelievable. So,
it was something to definitely check out.
And then Rebecca Simrose talked about saying yes to adventure. So she gave a great story on all her adventure photography there. And the young Abby Rylander. She's from Saskatchewan. She's 18 years old and already an amazing wildlife photographer.
Yeah,
and
you betcha.
She was really good.
Yeah, an up-and-comer for sure.
Yeah. And then the conference finished off with Alex Buis, I think is how you pronounce his name. And he talked about storytelling for adventure photography and some of his photos and being on the side of a cliff. And, it's someplace that I'll never be, but his images were pretty amazing.
It was nice sitting in a chair watching, but that was about it. So
I'm not hanging off the side of a mountain. We'll leave that to him.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like you said, we had breakout sessions, right?
Yeah.
So, basically the group and, the group split off. We had sunrise shoots, sunset shoots. I think they had an astro one evening. Just different locations all around Pincher Creek.
Ludbrook Falls. There was a bunch of them.
Actually, and the one, was it the Friday morning before the conference started? I kind of snuck into Waterton.
Did you?
And it was really good. Got to get some photos of this beautiful black bear.
Nice.
Eating in the dandelions and stuff. And my first ever wolf encounter in Waterton. In Waterton, yeah. So I was really surprised to see that. Like, I mean, out of all the years I've been going down there, never saw, never even had a glimpse of a wolf.
Wow,
and
that's awesome.
I got to spend about maybe 15 seconds with this guy. And then I tried
that's
tracking.
Actually pretty long for a wolf.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I tried tracking, et cetera. And I had to get back to the conference to start. But it was crazy. That was actually my fifth wolf this spring.
Wow.
Because when I was in Kananaskis, I saw 4. And I was able to get a few photos of one. But the other 3 kind of dissipated and stuff. So crazy spring to start already. So it was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. Very awesome. So, but all around the whole event was amazing. I mean, I highly recommend. I mean, I know you will too, Joe. The next year's Light Chasers. Shane's already announced it's going to happen again. And
May 24th to 26th. 2024.
Pincher Creek again. And I believe he's going to announce, who the presenters or at least start announcing the presenters, I believe, December 1st-ish or
December
something
1st,
like that, right? So, yeah.
But last year, guys, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I think when he first released, something like 50% of the tickets sold right away.
Yeah.
Then maybe, I'm not sure if the numbers are actually correct here, but I think within the 2 months or the 3 months they sold out. Like it was fast, so
for sure.
So just keep that in mind,
and when we're talking about how many people there, I mean, I think there was at least 150 people in the audience, and plus the McBain was there, the camera store was there, all the big major brands were there.
Yeah, Tamron, Nikon.
Case, Sony. Like they were
Druid
all
was
there,
there
so.
from f-stop, which was pretty
Druid.
cool. We finally got to meet Druid in person. So
yeah, we've chatted with him a lot over the last number of years, but it was pretty neat to meet the founder of f-stop in person, right? So great guy.
Exactly. So overall, Light Chasers, awesome, highly recommended, and hopefully we see some of you guys there next year.
That's for sure. And then what happened after that?
So right from Light Chasers, what did we do, Chris? We went home.
I went home and got some sleep.
Packed, and we headed out to Jasper for the next
day.
The next week. So, great trip. I mean, what can I say? It was like years previous, right? Like, I mean, we got to see all kinds of wildlife. Hang out with all our friends. We may not speak a lot to each other sometimes over the year, but it's everybody shows up approximately the same time, and it's like we never left. So
for sure.
It's pretty awesome that way for sure.
Everybody's super friendly. Everybody gets along. I mean, it's just an awesome group of people that you see all the time, and you also end up meeting new people that you may not have met over the last number of years, and you know their name, or maybe you don't know their name, and you just introduce them and you become friends as well, right? So the wildlife photography community, or all the photography community in general, it's an awesome community to belong to, right?
100%. Yeah.
Great
Oh,
people,
there's my first 100%. I was actually somebody had made a mention as to how many times can Joe say 100% in the video. So now I'm very conscious of it. So that was
You've
number one.
You've said it twice now. Well, you've said it twice. Actually, you just explained.
That's right. So that's 2. Okay, so I'm going to mark that down. I'm just going to put a line every time Okay, 1, 2. Okay,
it's going to turn into a drinking game for people watching this. You know
right?
that.
Oh, my
Absolutely.
God.
That's
mine, that's right? Chris. So, okay, he said that once. Okay.
Absolutely. Oh.
But it was an awesome trip. I mean, got to see a lot of bears, rams, of course. Went out towards Hinton and got to see a mountain goat.
Just one?
My girlfriend never seen one. No, she had never seen one in person. Oh, okay. Yeah. And so I thought, that'd probably be the best place to go. So we went out and got to see one way up high. Not even, it looked like snow, right? One of those things, right? So you put the binoculars. It's actually, mountain goat. So that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, just kind of, a lot of elks were dropping calves, right? So there was some elk calves out there too.
Yeah. And some of the antlers already on some of the bulls, like, holy crap. There's going to be some big bulls this coming year.
Oh, for sure. Wow. Yeah, there was a lot of little, stubby ones, little button ones. And then that one had what? I don't know. It's like easily 4 points on the other side already starting to grow.
At least. Yeah. He was huge already. So it was pretty good.
What I'm just thinking, we didn't see any moose this year. This spring.
No, I didn't see a moose at all.
No, I didn't see a moose either. So
no, I did not.
But yeah, it was cool. Really great trip. So actually, what happened while you were editing that one?
In the truck.
Yeah, in the truck.
And I do have to say, Ward mentioned at Light Chasers, he hasn't seen the back of the truck video yet, my final completion of the truck, and I promise I will get it to you. It is a little delayed, sorry, Ward. For sure. But, people have been interested in that. So, I was sitting in the back of my truck editing. I do have to work while I'm there as well. So I was working in the back of the truck in the campsite. Yeah. And I looked up and I'm like, there's some movement there. What is that? Well, holy crap, there's a grizzly like 40 feet from me walking right in the middle of the campground, followed by 2 yearlings, like right in the middle of the campground. And, I didn't have my camera there. I quickly grabbed my cell phone and got some video of it, but right behind was Parks. But I definitely found, we talked over all the years, we talk about, there are definitely bears in the campground at times. Just be aware of them. Well, last year, I don't think we saw a bear in the campground. And like, how many times this year did we see grizzlies in the campground? Like every day, I think. So
there was 3 separate instances, right?
Yeah.
So, that was one.
Yeah.
The one morning, I just happened to be sleeping in my Jeep this time as opposed to my tent.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And so at 5 a.m., I popped the door open and I grabbed my stuff. And when I opened the door and got my feet on the ground, I looked, there was a sow with the 2 yearlings right in front of my Jeep. And beside us is Jamie. Jamie's camping in a tent. He was sleeping in his tent. So when the bears were coming, I believe I said to Jamie, I said, "Hey, there's a grizzly is outside your tent." And Jamie made some sort of a squeaky sound with his sleeping bag and his air mattress.
Okay,
and one of the cubs sat up. Right at the end of the park, like the parkway, like the little driveway that's gravel and stuff, stood up. Yeah. And then that's what I'm telling Jamie.
15 feet from his tent?
Yeah. I said, Jamie, So later on, he had said that he could actually hear the clicking of the claws through the gravel while he was in his tent. Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying that. So I was happy I was in the truck, but there was no harm to us or any means. I mean, they were caring about their own business, right?
Well, and that's it. And so I started recording video, and they were walking by me, and then the sow was eating some grass. Then she started to walk right towards me, and that's when I started banging on the side of the Jeep. And
that's when I woke up.
Yeah, and she just looked, and she just turned around and walked away. So they want nothing to do with you. They're there eating grass and dandelions and stuff like that, right? So
that's what I could hear. Get away, go! What? I'm like, what the heck is going on out there?
Yeah,
and of course, I stuck my head out and saw what I saw, and I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah,
they're right there.
So that was pretty cool. So, actually, that was pretty cool.
It was neat.
Called Parks. They came and they just kept an eye on her. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think they ended up pushing her out of the campsite further back away, right?
Well. So, it could be unsafe with kids and dogs and all that in the campground. So it's always, best to
cooler.
It's one thing to see them, but to have them, that close to other families and stuff.
Even putting a cooler out, cooler in your tent. These are reasons why you got to lock up your food, because that bear. Sure. I mean, if you had a cooler or sandwiches or something in your tent, could easily sniff that out and come in and, tried to get in, right? So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And then there was a third incident. Mm-hmm. Our neighbors to the left, right? Yeah. I'm not sure where we were at the time, but the couple, she went to go have a shower.
Yeah.
And she left her phone.
At the trailer.
And he was inside his trailer watching or looking out the window. And right pretty much from the exit doors of the washroom showers, there was a single grizz walking down the path right towards the trailer. And she's there. Now, I don't remember the story if she actually opened the door and saw the grizz, or do you remember?
I don't remember exactly. I do remember in the video, you can actually see the stall that she's in. You can actually see it's red, it's locked. So she's in the washroom at the time, or in the shower rather at the time. Yeah. And I do know when she got out, he was a little concerned she was going to get out and start walking. And I think it passed, and then she was, okay. I don't think she really even realized what happened, but they were nice enough to share the video with us. So,
and that's it. We really appreciate that. So we appreciate that 3 different bear instances that we knew about in the campground.
Yeah, we encountered ourselves, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So,
and we did see that bear actually, because remember we it came from a certain area that we went over, and it looked like it was going to another section that we were kind of warning the trailers across there.
That's right. Yeah,
they were there, right?
So coming out went to the right, and it was going in towards the back loop there. Yep. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So we kind of knew it was coming, but
for sure.
And then it was definitely interesting. So.
And there was one more incident. Don't know all the details, but this happens almost every year. That same sow with the 2 yearlings took down an elk calf right in the campground. Actually, almost close to the registration building for the campground. And I mean, that's all we really know about it, because right now it's calving season. Elk are dropping calves all over, and that's what the bears do. Right. So nothing cruel and unusual about that. It's nature. Right. And as wildlife photographers, we'd hope to capture that one day. But we heard about it. And they, from what I understood, they let her finish. Right. And then they hazed them off. Right. So.
Right. Yeah. And I did drive by I did drive by the front, unbeknownst to me, that was happening. And there was 15 parks vehicles all around, right? So they were on it and they were monitoring it, and they're looking out for everybody's safety as well as the bears.
That's right.
That's right. They handled everything really good. So it was definitely an interesting year. I think it was. we saw them more often, I guess. We didn't,
Yeah. Oh,
you know,
for sure. For sure.
I think this year than last year. You know, I don't know. It was definitely interesting. We were able to see, but yeah, everybody just be safe out there for sure. They're still around. So
it was a little different too, because this year we had like no cloud. It was hot.
Yeah, it was hot.
You know, shooting could almost be done by 8:30 because
Right,
it was so bright and harsh.
It did, yeah.
And but I mean, you know, we still went looking. I mean, there's still other things to photograph. I think I haven't seen them, but I think you got some loons, right? Did you get video of some loons? Video or just photos?
No, I got some video and loons.
Perfect.
I was with Jamie there, and we found some loons.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool on the lake there, and
yeah.
And the cool thing was we also saw a cross fox, so that was kind of neat.
Yeah, you did. I mean, I saw it bedded down because you had actually found out or saw where she bedded down or he bedded down underneath the tree.
Ran across and I kind of followed, kind of knew where it was. And I didn't get great shots by any means. I mean, standing on the road, but it was pretty neat to see though. So.
Yeah, neat to see for sure.
Yeah.
And I know.
You know, it's not always about getting photos and videos. It's about the experience sometimes too. And if you don't get great shots,
Chris,
it's okay. You still were able to.
No. If
That's what I keep telling myself,
If you didn't
Joe.
shoot it, you didn't see it. We need proof.
I see. Well, I did shoot it. It's not a great photo, but I did shoot it.
Actually, the 1 year, I had a lynx run across, right? Run right across me, right across the vehicle. And I'm like, I better get a photo. Like, you know what I mean? So I got out, I went into the woods, and just before it went into the woods, I got a bum shot, right? So
good.
Then I followed in.
There's something there.
Then I followed in, and it was all like this, and I couldn't get a shot or anything like that. And off she went. But I came back with a bum shot. I did see the lynx, you know, so that's proof.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know,
that's what
or
we
else
kind
you
of
know how to
joke
Photoshop
about it,
pretty good, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, using all that photo AI stuff, right? You know.
Oh yes, yeah. Speaking of lynx, do you remember that there was one day that we encountered a gentleman that was driving, and we were like, "What's he?" You came across him, right? What was he looking for? He said he saw a lynx run across his path, right?
Yeah, we missed it by a few minutes.
Yeah,
and there was also
I was 4 seconds from seeing a cougar from what I was told.
That's right.
So that was kind of disappointing, but
I mean, there was a lot of great opportunities. I mean,
there was. Yeah, we're just going to be out there, right? So.
Up near Medicine, and we kind of lost Jamie because it was Picas. So you went running down and around and up and sat there, and you know, so the Pica Whisperer, and then a marmot popped up there too. So
yes,
I mean, it's fun. I mean, there's lots to do, you know. Midday, you know, you could edit, go hiking, do whatever you want to do, sleep a little, you know.
Oh, so, yeah. Some people sleep a little more than others.
Nap time. Yeah, Chris. And so
no.
you had a lot of editing or a lot of work to do, right? So you had a real estate shoot you did on the Monday morning before you actually left.
Yeah, we came back from Light Chasers. I got home from Light Chasers like 8 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock at night on the Sunday. Woke up first thing in the morning, went did a real estate shoot, and then headed right to Jasper. So I did have to work a little bit while I was away. But for sure. You know, so yeah. But well, that was good. It was all good. So we still got lots to see. So yeah,
you bet. So that pretty much wraps up our May.
Yeah.
You know,
well, and we got a lot of content we've captured too, right? I mean, I actually have a terabyte of content that I still have to go through. Not all we're going to keep by any means, but you know, when you're recording 8K video, that builds up.
Oh, the 8K, the video stuff. But I mean, the photos. I mean, I took a bunch of video too, but the photos. I mean, my first go through, I actually got through the one trip. I'd say like half are gone. Like right off the bat. I mean, that's just kind of like, you know, if you're shooting like in electronic shutter, you get a lot of the same, right? So you need to pick one, you know, especially when you're anticipating movement. The animal didn't move, and it's like, oh, perfect. I got 30 images of that, you know, bear that didn't move, right? You know, so you got to delete all that. So,
for sure, yeah.
But yeah, it takes a little bit, you know.
So, I was shooting with the Canon R5 and Canon R5C, like I have been the last while now.
Yep.
So, and what were you shooting with this time?
Yes. Okay. So I had my Canon R5. A little bit of a segue there for you. Yeah, perfect. Canon R5 and the new Canon R6 Mark II.
Nice. And you seemed to be pretty happy with it while we were away.
Like, I hate to say this, but it blew the R5 out of the water in low light. Like,
low light,
I mean, in low light. I mean, I was shooting, I really pushed it. I mean, anywhere from about 1600 up to 10,000 ISO. And maybe
Wow.
Chris will throw a few images up on
Sure.
screen
Oh,
here.
yeah.
But
Yep.
when you see this stuff, I mean, when you were getting up around 10,000 or so, actually, I got some at 20,000 ISO too.
Really?
Yeah. So
Oh, sure,
actually,
yeah.
you know what actually worked really well was the new Lightroom denoise feature.
Oh, have you tried that? Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah,
takes a
I've
little
been
bit.
using
Hey,
it.
you hit the button and then it works for a little bit there.
Yeah,
I
you
noticed. I don't know
can
how long it takes.
you can
but-
make slight adjustments. No, it didn't take
Okay.
hardly anything.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, a lot of tools at your disposal, but that R6, man, and the autofocus, you know, the speed, you know, frames per second,
Sure.
whatever it was, everything it mirrored the R5 in a lot of ways, like the features and stuff. So, but wow, like I actually the whole trip might have shot the R5 5% of the time.
Is that right? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's
It
pretty
was
cool.
the R6 is all I shot the whole week in Jasper.
Wow. Okay,
So-
so it's the sensor. It's the same sensor as the R6, the original R6, or like what's the megapixels on that?
I don't know the specs. I absolutely don't know
okay.
the specs compared
It's
to the
20
R6.
something megapixels though, right?
It's
Like,
almost half of what the R5 is.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
So
Yeah, fair enough.
hence, you know, the better low light capabilities because
Yeah.
the R5 being at 45 megapixels has so like the sensor's so big, like.
Yeah,
It captures so much information, right? Like it becomes grainy fast. And when I first started using the R5, and you know, with wildlife, right? It's primarily early mornings, late evenings. I mean, you're not shooting midday.
Of course, yeah.
And when I saw that, I'm like, oh my God. So then I started shooting with my 1DX Mark II because the 1DX Mark II just killed the R5 as far as, you know, low light capabilities
light
too,
again.
because it's 20 megapixels, I think.
Sure.
The 1D. So,
Yeah. Which is still a great camera from all accounts, right? So,
100%. But I mean,
Yeah.
the R6 is like half the weight now.
yeah.
So the
Fair
1DX is
enough.
going up for sale. So if anybody's interested, just send me a
There you go.
message.
There you go.
But no, so those are my two go-tos. Like
Nice.
the R6 is going to have my 500 f4 on it. And
I was
then
going to say that was kind of what lens you were using
Yeah.
with the R6 Mark II. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the R5 will have my 1-4 with the DF to RF adapter with a built-in ND because all my
Okay.
video is going to be with the R5. But
So
actually,
you're
I did shoot
basically-
some. I did shoot some video on the R6
Oh, you did.
Mark II. So yeah,
Oh,
a lot to
first, yeah.
compare.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
sorry guys, we're not getting all that technical with you know sensors and this and everything else. This is just my first run through. I was able to shoot a good week. I probably shot I don't know 10 to 12,000 images, and I'm just like
Nice.
really kind of put it through the test as far as the low light stuff. And from what I've seen, it's like wow. It's what I should
Well-
do in the next couple of weeks is take them both side by side, shooting the same subject. So if I can go find an elk or
Sure.
a moose or something like that, and shoot them in the
Side-by-side
same conditions,
comparison.
and then show you side by side, I think
Sure.
you'll notice a big difference.
Yeah, and really, we're not. You and I aren't all about charts and showing
Yeah.
how we're about usability and getting out and actually hands on with the gear
Well,
and
and
using
that's it. I
right?
mean, like.
how it works for us.
Well,
right?
and that's it. I mean, you know, maybe in an episode, actually, in an episode, we need to actually show our camera settings because we've had that request
Sure.
multiple
we have
times.
yes,
So,
yeah, we probably should get around to that.
but you know, that's kind of I think the extent we're going to get to is camera settings, workability in the field. You know, how did it perform? You know, the buttons are totally different. Well, I should say totally different.
Are
but
they
there's
from
no
the R5?
So the R6 has no LCD screen at the top.
Oh, okay.
It's all tactile buttons. You know, you spin them.
Gotcha.
You know, but you're still able to save the custom functions like C1, C2, C3, which was important.
Oh, good.
Because
Yes,
there's a switch on the left. Basically, you switch it to photo or video. So when you switch it to when it's on photo, C1, 2, and 3 are the photo modes, and when you click at the video, the C1, 2, 3 modes change to the video modes. So
Nice.
it was phenomenal. So when I was shooting photos, I have it set for wildlife and landscape, right? And when I was shooting video, I had it set for what is it? So standard frame rate, right? 150th of a second. The second one, 1/25th of a second, right?
Oh,
so,
for 60 frames per second video.
for 60 frames per second video. So,
Sure.
so it was nice because from that, all I had to do was when I went to go from video to photo, I went to C1, click the photo, boom, my wildlife settings were in place. Like crazy.
So my question would be like on the R5C, they has the photo video switch as well. But the difference on the R5C that you're switching from the Canon photo menu to the operating system, which is the cinema operating system on the video. So it's probably the same switch, but being that what you're doing is almost doing the same thing as in the R5. You hit the info button to switch to photo video.
Yeah,
the transition from photo to video pretty fast, was it? Like you could
2 clicks.
switched from 2 clicks and it was immediately right there.
Yeah. So all I did was turn like on the top, the tactile switch. I turned it to C1 and flipped it and then the switch on the left side of the camera from video to photo. Boom.
Okay.
I was in wildlife shoot mode. So I was
good. Okay.
the
F4, the R5C shuts to black and then it comes back on because it's 2 different operating systems. So it's nice to hear being that's the same operating system.
It may do that.
It's pretty quick.
It may do that, but split second. Like I didn't even notice it, to be honest. So awesome. And then my starting settings on the wildlife settings, right, is 1/800th of a second, F4 with auto ISO. And the reason I put 1/800 is because like it's a fast enough shutter speed to freeze most action, right? Sure. And so, but when I do get out there, I make the adjustment. So yeah, boom, I'm on wildlife, but really low light, I might have to drop it down to 1/250th or whatever it is. Sure. But you always have to adjust the shutter speed. But I have it set that way, so when I'm changing modes, it just I know it goes automatically, and I'm already thinking about shutter speed anyway. So if it is low light, when I flick the switch, I know I got to scroll down to get my shutter speed down to whatever it is, right? Or
fair enough. Boom. At least you know the starting point, and you're consistently knowing when you switch it, what it's going to be at, and you can adjust from there.
Yeah. So maybe the starting point should have been 1/500th of a second because that's kind of the minimum I want to hand hold a 500.
Sure.
But anyways, you get used to it, and then you're able to scroll, and you're good to go, right? So
sure.
But
and I can say I use the custom settings all the time because I actually have even further, right? From when I go from the real estate world to the real estate and video world to the wildlife and nature world, I've got custom settings designed for both. So I pop the memory card in, upload the new custom settings when I'm doing the wildlife and nature and vice versa. And they come in, they actually come in really handy, right? I mean, it's you can, because there's a bunch of settings in there that you may forget that are actually there that you need to adjust. So it's nice having those as part of your custom settings.
It's just not, aperture, shutter speed and ISO.
No,
it's all your stuff in the background, right? It's all your autofocus system, like your autofocus tracking, whether it's animal eye detect, I don't know,
well, if you might have bracketing set, or you might have like for landscapes, or you might have
whatever.
There's so much difference.
That's right. So it's good. It's good because, like you said, it's quick in the field, and the switch from photo to video. Because there was even there was times where I was recording video, and I'm like, oh crap, I want to get photos of this. So click, and I was shooting photos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And going back. So
sure.
Yeah, it's cool. So
it's awesome.
R6 Mark II, phenomenal, like absolutely phenomenal for the low light. So,
it's awesome.
It was funny. I didn't miss the R5 at all shooting photos.
Really?
Yeah. When I was going for video, of course, I had that with 1:400. Like I'm finally getting used to that, because of the adapter, it's got the built-in variable ND. I'm actually, whenever I grab it now, I'm always going down. So I remember now to make sure it's kind of set to 0, which is about, a stop a light loss anyways with the ND on.
There's still about a stop.
So I'm finally getting used to that system that way. Nice. And then the R6. So I can't wait to shoot the R6 fall time too, and all throughout summer, right? So
for sure, yeah. And I forgot I rented a 600 f4 EF Mark II. And I wanted to rent the RF 600 F4 or the EF Mark III, but they're shipping them to Montreal for the F1 race, so I didn't get a chance to actually use it. So this thing's a bit of a tank, and I'll put a photo on the screen. It was a little hard for me to handhold. And one thing I definitely noticed different was when you're shooting like elk or shooting bears from a distance, you can pretty much find them, but try shooting a Pika in and amongst rocks and try to figure out where the heck it is in your viewfinder at 600 is a bit of a challenge. I'm sure you found that even with the 500.
So narrow. Like, I mean, with the 500, you know, over the last 10, 15 years of shooting with one, you kind of, you get used to it. You know how to kind of bring it down and pinpoint, like you have an idea of where to go,
you know
right?
Where.
And I think because you're not used to such a long prime,
and
even more magnification at the 600, you're like,
right. Yeah, where
you're like, where's the Pika? It's right there, Chris.
It took me a bit to get used to that. And it was almost like when I was aiming with it, it was almost like the guys were like, it's like a gun sight. You know, you got to actually aim and then pull it up a little bit further because, you know, that seemed to be how it was. A few other guys tried it as well, and they were saying that seemed to be
there's
what
different
it was
techniques
like.
to do that. But I mean, for the most part, you're shooting off that new video tripod you got by Small Rig.
Oh yeah, that's the Free Blazer or whatever. That's the Small Rig Free Blazer. It's a great tripod. You know, unclip 3 buttons, slide it up, clip them back in, and you don't have to worry about extending each leg or anything.
Yeah, that was nice. That's something I might consider too.
Yeah,
because
I liked it a lot. It was great. Yeah.
I'm using a standard tripod, you know, Gitzo carbon fiber, and it takes a bit to set up. You're adjusting legs, you're trying to get it steady, and then you're adjusting the bowl. So the videos, you know, with that, I mean, that was insanely fast. Like,
no, I was really happy with it, and combined like for landscape stuff and like for interview stuff in my own world, you know, to be able to have the Case Movie Mate matte box system on there and the Small Rig, just bam, filter in front, go. I mean, that's pretty quick for what you need. You know, always when you're shooting landscapes for video, even you're not really in a hurry. But it's still nice to be able to do things quick, right? So,
not at all. And you know, actually, I don't even know if I used my tripod this past spring because it was primarily wildlife. I can handle the 500 quite well. A lot of it's running and gunning, you know, doing whatever it is. Not like elk season where, you know, you have time or you could set up, you know, you get on a gimbal or a video head or, you know, and then you're, you know, recording, you're watching them move and interact and that kind of thing.
Totally.
So, I mean, I didn't even put the cotton carrier on the spring because I didn't need to, you know, like things were so fast, right? Things happen and and you're
we didn't do a ton of hiking either this time.
That's right.
But no, for sure. So but I think it was good. I still think you know, I tried the 400 2.8 in the fall, and I still absolutely love that lens and hope win the lottery and get that one day. But
no, just tell one of your kids they can't go to college or university. And then there's that tuition money.
Well.
Yeah,
sure. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that'll go over well. So, but that's okay. So one day, but I, still rent them, and it's and really the 100 400 Mark II that I have is still great for video.
It's awesome for video. Like, I love that range. I love that range.
Yes.
And the odd time. I mean, I find it so hard doing video with the 500, especially when I put the 1.4 teleconverter on it. My God, you tap the tripod or you breathe on it, and you get all that vibration. And I'm putting a beanbag on top to kind of, settle things down.
You zoomed in
stuff.
so far and it's heavy.
But that 1-4, I mean, it's a sweet little combo for video. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I can use the Case system on there too, which that filter system, I'm really going to use a lot more. And it's just, you can't use it for the big mess of, 500 or the 600.
I don't think they make a lens ring that big.
Right?
I'm not sure what the filter size is on the front, but yeah, exactly, size of a hubcap, right? Like they're trying to clip it on.
Oh my God!
But
totally, yeah.
No, so it was good. Yeah. I mean, we got to try some new things. Your 600, my R6, your new tripod.
Yep.
I mean, it was a really good solid trip. So.
Yeah. I got a new power station for my truck this year as well, so I got to try that out. Which
one
awesome.
was it? So I used yours, your old one, which was the.
You had I used my Blue Eddy EB70, I think. Okay. So it's about 700 or 800 watt hours or whatever. And I used, so now I have a EcoFlow Delta 2. which is 1800 watts.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved it. And, you know, I know it's first world issues, but I actually was able to make my coffee with my Keurig.
Yeah, that's right.
But I was able to run my stuff like, priorities.
A cup of coffee costs you what, $2,000 or something like that? You know?
Well, it's for other things too, but I was able to use my cooler and charge my batteries, and I got a little cool one night, so I was able to plug my little heating blanket in there a little bit as well.
Princess, that's awesome. You didn't tell me that. I'm sleeping in a tent, but I actually got to try out my new. It was a minus. I mean, it's an overkill. I mean, but it's rated for minus 28. You know, see?
Oh, wow. Your sleeping bag?
It's a mummy bag. So, I mean, you know, you just crawl in and, I mean, 20 minutes in, you're unzipping half of it anyways. But I just wanted to be comfortable because, I mean, it's 30 degrees midday and it's minus 2 overnight. Like, isn't
it crazy?
The swings in the Rockies are just crazy. And I just thought, I just want to be comfortable and not have to worry about it, right? So... but the Blue Eddy one I used, that was yours. You said to give it a try. It was great. Like it ran my electric cooler all night and it got down to 40%. Like,
the electric cooler you're talking about is a beast from like 15, 20 years ago.
Like it's an old one. It's an old one, but so it did that, and then I was able just to plug in the stuff to charge my batteries, my phone, my watch, like whatever it was. Nice. So that little unit was actually enough, I think, to do what I need out of the back of the Jeep. Now, you had said if I went to go purchase something, there's a new generation anyways and stuff, which would be even better. So in that case there, just knowing that system's going to work, whatever I buy now is going to be even better, right? So it's going to work quite well.
Blue Eddy's got some new stuff. EcoFlow's got some new stuff. Jackery. I mean, there's great brands out there. I mean, I love the EcoFlow one that I am using is amazing. I'm definitely thinking of getting a little bit of a solar panel for the roof. So
nice.
So just to maintain it, you know, because I didn't want to bring this up, but here I go. There was a couple occasions, maybe when we were at Light Chasers, where I was charging the EcoFlow Delta 2 while I was driving. And I got back to the hotel and went inside. Yes. Meanwhile, I forgot to unplug the Delta 2 from charging from my truck.
Was it once
maybe somebody...
or twice?
Might have been twice.
Yes. Yeah.
That somebody had to help boost my truck to get it running. Thank you very much, Joe.
Yeah.
And you know, here I was giving our buddy Brett and Pete, you know, a little bit of a hard time because they were a little low on gas maybe the night before, and here I go and you know.
Well, to give them a bit of, you know, benefit of the doubt here, they did go into Waterton expecting Pat's to be open, like the only one gas station around as opposed to Pincher Creek. And
who knew Friday night at 6 p.m. it was going to be closed,
or something like that.
Or whatever it was. Yeah.
I think it was closer to 8. So what did Chris do?
Okay,
Chris was the savior. He went and got a gas can, got gas, went down, and actually we got a picture of that too. So we got a picture of you with your boosting your truck. Okay. Did you have cables?
Picture of Brett. I had booster cables.
Yeah, they were 4 feet long.
Complained that they were a little short.
Like 4. I mean, I was practically touching your Jeep or your truck, and we couldn't even reach the clips. So there's another thing you need to update in your truck, because I always carry 16 footers because they're actually designed to go not nose to nose, but I can I can drive up to the back of your truck and still have enough room or enough length to charge in case you're stuck in, you know, between two vehicles, and I could still, you know, so 16 footers on your Christmas list there, Chris. So,
I mean, I really appreciate it because I was kind of stuck there, and I do have a NOCO battery charger, but that'll take like 24 hours to really get the battery back and going. I didn't have that time,
a charger to do that.
But no, I appreciate that. So I was giving Brett a little hard time, and of course here I go.
Sure enough,
almost do something similar twice.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So, I mean, so what? I mean, that's kind of where we're at, you know, as far as the last month or so goes. We've been busy with that.
I mean, everything we just talked about was literally like in maybe 2.5 weeks almost.
That's
you know what I mean? Or 3 weeks. Like that was a lot that we had crammed in there.
Yeah,
so
yeah, for sure. So we're pretty excited to push out that content on our socials. We got some video footage we're going to put out on this channel. Even
absolutely.
just clips of these. Oh my God, these cute bears just playing and running, and it was pretty phenomenal. Some of these experiences too. So
it was pretty amazing.
Actually, there's a few lifer moments for me too that I haven't showed anybody yet. So I'm pretty excited to show that. It was exciting. Pretty cool. Yeah. Now, when I say lifer moments, I've seen it one other time in Waterton, but this was grizzlies, right? So, did you notice how many more grizzlies we saw than black bears? Now there's still a lot of black bears around, but I mean, I think the majority of the stuff we saw was grizzlies, right? So
yes, there was a lot of grizzlies around. Yeah, and it's not even the same ones over and over. I mean, we did see the same ones over and over, but there was new ones that just kept cropping up. It was hilarious. So even after you ended up leaving a little bit early there the day before, and the next day we've seen a grizzly and two cubs that we hadn't seen all week. So it was crazy. But it was.
It's funny how they're so close to proximity. Like, I mean, even if the outward radius was 10, 15 kilometers, or you know what I mean?
Sure.
Say from the central point, you know what I mean? There was a lot of bears in that little area.
There's a lot of bears.
So
there was a lot of bears. So no, that's
now
for sure.
I'm stoked for fall.
It was good. Yeah.
I mean, we do shooting through the summer. I mean, not as much. I mean, it's more hiking, maybe some landscape photography. Of course, if I can get elk, moose, deer, in velvet, as their antlers are growing. And then there's so much more. Like, I mean, if you don't want to travel too far, like look at the stuff you got at our local parks. You know what I mean? Like video beavers, you know what I mean? Like the stuff you got was phenomenal. You and Brian.
Our buddy Brian. Yeah, absolutely. He got some stuff too. He's been capturing some amazing things in our local parks. The birds and like, it's just the stuff that he's getting is unbelievable, but you got to get out, right? You got to be out there, right?
I mean, I went looking for owls, and then like on my Instagram, there's a picture of a duck, common goldeneye. And, I just tried to get creative, and I think I ended up with a pretty cool image. And that was basically laying down flat, shooting through the grass, trees on top. So you had that ethereal look around it, but it was still soft enough that the eye was tack sharp, And you look at something like that, awesome. And I mean, it turned out to be a pretty good photo, but I got that at Fish Creek Park. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
You don't have to go to all these places. I mean, that's a good topic right there. I mean, you don't have to travel all over to get some good, solid images. Like, go sit at a park for a while and, observe the wildlife.
Or around your local wetland, right? There's wetlands. Here locally in Calgary, there's tons of wetlands around. Lots of different birds. I mean, 40 feet from my backyard, a great blue heron visits us every single year in the storm runoff pond.
There you go.
What I mean? Like, it's unbelievable. You don't have to go very far to see.
And if you have a pair of waders, I mean, that's even better. I mean, you can just plop your feet in, get down low, sit down right in the reeds. Get all kinds of ducks or whatever it is. So, you don't have to go on these week-long trips or travel hundreds of kilometers to get this stuff. So,
for sure, But I think at the end of the day, you just got to get out. I mean, I keep telling myself that too. Like, I was super busy up until the last month, and I just need to get out and trying to find the time and balance and work-life balance, right? So if you can get out, and you never know what you're going to see. So absolutely.
I think there's always
100%.
Something to shoot. 100%. Okay, that's 3.
100%.
So I think there's always something to shoot. Like,
there is.
I guess it just is basically based on your genre and whether you like birds or whether you like, whatever it is.
There's flowers. There's lots of different things, like insects, right?
Like, so. I think right now Waterton's just exploding with wildflowers. So if that's, I mean, it's one of those parks where the wildflowers blanket the park. Like, it's just absolutely insane. I used to participate and present at the Waterton Wildflower Festival. Until they actually stopped doing it. And oh my God, it was, if you're a macro photographer or a flower photographer, it was the thing. That was the time to go.
You're in heaven,
right?
eh?
Yeah, for sure. So, nice. I mean, just get out there,
Cool.
Get out there, start shooting,
for sure.
right? So,
and we also talked about, what else we'll be doing this summer. We're hoping over the coming months, right, to get some more interviews going too, right? So we met a lot of cool people, light chasers, not only that presented, but other people
for sure
that we know as well. We're hoping to get on the show, and in the coming months, keep an eye.
And it's nice that people are reaching out, and they're asking if they could be on the podcast.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's good. I mean, I know one coming up that I'm pretty super stoked about, actually. It's a family that shoots, right? Their kids are awesome. Some of the images these kids
family.
Some of the images these kids are getting put their parents to shame. No.
Maybe put us to shame.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Some of the shots is unbelievable.
From what I heard, their 6-year-old took their, how did I say that? Claimed one of their 302.8s. So.
Right.
So
that's an amazing lens to claim. That's for sure.
No kidding. So. He knows where he's going. He knows what's good, right? So.
Oh, for sure.
But no,
that'll be a fun conversation.
A lot of cool stuff coming up for sure.
Yeah.
I just know it's been a little slow the last few months, and that's like you said, just giving her work, being out in the field, that sort of thing. So
lots more to come from us, that's for sure.
Yeah, we just got to start pumping it out. We got the content, now it's just a matter of spending the time and getting it out there. So I'm actually looking forward to June. To June. What is it? June 10th already.
In June,
wow.
buddy.
June and July for all these interviews coming and stuff. But guys, we just wanted to give you a bit of a recap, let you know what we're up to. I'm sure there'll be a video with a little bit more detail on the R6. Showing some photo comparisons side by side with the R5. Probably going to have an editing video or two, especially with that new Lightroom denoise that's built in.
Sure.
Maybe something a little bit to do with our workflow, that kind of thing, right? So
we had a lot of questions of different ideas and stuff when we were at Light Chasers. We talked to a bunch of people, different ideas for podcasts. So as always, if you guys have any suggestions, let us know. We'd gladly talk about stuff. And yes, I promise, Ward, I will get you that truck.
Yes,
truck video,
absolutely. So Chris, that's your next assignment.
Maybe make a note right here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Done.
So, guys, we really appreciate you listening to this episode here. Like we said, there's going to be a lot more to come over the next few months, and hope you join us.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Thanks for joining us on the Nature Photo Guys podcast. If you have any questions, contact us at info@thenaturePhotoGuys.ca or message us on Facebook and Instagram at the Nature Photo Guys Podcast. Visit YouTube and subscribe to our channel to watch all our latest videos. Or follow and listen to our latest podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on our website at thenaturePhotoGuys.ca. We'll catch you next time on the Nature Photo Guys Podcast.